So I've just done the other video, I'll just do this one now, which is the overcoming mental health. So it's sort of like tips and tricks to, if you like, boost you on your way to recovery. So again, these are my own views, not set in stone. Do whatever you want with them. So first of all, a recovery book. I did a recovery book for myself 2 years ago. When did I start recovery? Well, whenever I started recovery. Last July. No, the July. I don't know. Anyway, it's a new year, it's confused me. Anyway, I did a book about like that thick. Stuff online, stuff from my therapist, stuff that I thought of myself, all packed together on how to like myself more. Things to think about that weren't just my eating disorder. So why I rely on it, who I actually am, who I want to be, and why I want to recover. Things like that, because it gives your brain something to do. And actually, when it's on paper, your head can't dismiss it because it's there. You've written it. So yeah, that's good. If you want to see my book, leave me a comment or whatever. If there's enough, I'll do a video on the therapy book. Secondly, therapy. I know. Everyone hates it. I hate it. Everyone hates it. You like the therapist sometimes, but you don't like the therapy. I know it's horrible. I know it takes a lot out of you. It's exhausting. It seems to make it worse. If it does actually seem to make it worse, don't go and find someone else. But a lot of the time, talking about your problems and having them told to you, I mean, I sit in my session sometimes and roll my eyes like, oh, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. But actually, when I leave, I feel better. So yeah, it works a tiny little bit. Give it a go. I know we all hate it. It can wipe you out. I mean, I have it tomorrow, so I shall probably be tired until Friday evening because it gets me that exhausted doing my CBT. But anyway, it is worth it. Ask others. That's another thing to overcome your mental health. Ask others if it's OCD. Ask them if it's true or not true. If I do this, will this happen? Because first of all, you yourself do not have the power to control a situation like that. You don't have the power to decide whether something bad is going to happen or not. That's fate. I know it's a compulsion, you need to do it, but ask people. Eventually it gangs up either side. So I've asked people what they think of me, and I was terrified to do that because I thought, well, what if it's all bad stuff? And I thought, actually, compared to the stuff I think about myself already, it can't get much worse. So I asked, and I was overwhelmed with the kindness I got back from that. I was just completely gobsmacked that people that I didn't think knew me actually knew me more than I knew myself. And all of a sudden you've got 200, 300 people over here telling you that what this one thing in your head says and what you believe isn't true. And actually there's a lot more here than there is here. And they can't all lie because they haven't all spoken to each other. Another thing, self-care. Self-care is something I cannot stress enough. When I first heard it 2 years ago, I was like, that's a load of absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. But actually, no, it's not. Your mental health disorder isn't there to protect you. You may think it is, and it may have been for a small amount of time, but actually now what it's trying to do is to destroy you, to kill you. So play it at its own game. When I was recovering from self-harm, because I planned out in my head what needed to go, and I started with the easiest. That was my therapist's idea, start with the easiest. So I stopped my self-harm by it sounds so stupid, and it works for different people. I mean, some people do the ping in the elastic band. I did that, but that actually caused quite a lot of damage because I didn't do it nicely. I massaged cream into where I wanted to hurt myself. I massaged cream in because I had something to do with my hand, and I was actually caring for the skin instead of destroying it. And I don't know, it did work, or I ran it under cold water, really, really cold water, because that hurts. Really, really cold water, it's like, oh my god, that's cold, but it gives your brain the sensation that it's felt something. Because I was disassociative, so I would self-harm to wake myself up, really, from whatever was going on in my head. I didn't realise I was doing it half the time. But actually, if you've woken yourself up a different way by massaging yourself or cold water, whatever it is, it still does relatively the same thing. It might not let off the same release, but it's like a smoker. A smoker can smoke and then decide to give it up, and have like nicotine patches or whatever. It lets off enough to keep your head content, but it's not what it really wants. But eventually, the thing you really want disappears. Self-care as well. Do your hair, do your makeup, go for a shower, go for a run, go for a nice relaxing bath. That's where I'm going after this. It's really important to give yourself care. Do some yoga, do some breathing exercises, read a book, whatever it is. Care for yourself, because that's the last thing that your disorder wants you to do. And by doing that, you're saying you're worth it. You are worth time. You are worth effort. I didn't know that I'd given up all self-care when I was poorly. According to everybody else, I absolutely stunk. I had rubbish hair. I mean, I had bald patches all back here. I had disgusting teeth. I was just not myself. I wasn't looking after myself. So yeah, you need to seriously self-care, look into it, because it sounds rubbish, but it's actually not as rubbish as you think. So finally, acceptance. In order to overcome any fear, any thought, you need to accept that it's not true. So the one I struggle with daily is I need to be underweight. So why? Why do I need to be underweight? Is underweight good? Underweight's not good. And it's drilling that same thing into yourself that actually it's not good. Your head's wrong. You need to be you. So have faith, trust your instincts, and do anything you can to help yourself. If you want to ask me anything, I don't care. I would rather help, as I said in the last video. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, ask me anything, ask for another video, I don't care. Well, I do care, because it's nice that people actually care what I have to say. But thank you all so much. It means so much to me that people actually do listen. I love you all.